All right, before we jump into today's episode, let's do a real quick recap here. You guys see the strap here holding these reels from moving forward, and of course, you guys watched how we built that tower. And at the very end, I'm actually going to put a skirt around that, so that's you're not actually going to see those blocks. And of course, that's for our soft washing. Right here, I think I mentioned this in a previous video. That's where our AR45 is going to go, soft washing pump. And you guys saw here, how I put this wood down here because that's going to be the foundation for everything. And you guys start to see right here how our plumbing comes together, because that's our right there. You see that right there is our RT, which is connected to our shut-off valve right there, which eventually is going to get connected to this guy right here, which is our water filter, our banjo water filter. Right? You see that right there? Banjo. Anyway, so the water filter, remember I was telling you guys about the arrow, how it has an arrow right there. Let me see if I can see that real good right there. That arrow has to be pointing towards the machine, and that's how it is right now. And then eventually here, we're going to have our machines and our battery box. Also the gas, the 13-gallon gas tank's going to go right there. And this right here, I wanted to show you. So I did end up putting, right here where my finger is, you won't be able to see because it's black. I ended up putting a zip tie there, zip tie there. This thing here, guys, I mean, it's an unmovable object right now. So all of our tanks are good to go. And right here, you guys see where my hand is right here. I put a strap right there where my finger is. This is just to hold the extra cord there in place. And you guys saw how we installed our stand-up tanks. And by the way, I did end up putting the extra screws back here. So let me show you something real quick. This is what the final product looks like. And I did find the extra bungee cords. They were inside a tote inside the storage that we have over here on the left side there. But anyway, you see right here, guys, I mean, I can't even, there's absolutely no way that thing's not moving at all. And you guys see how the blocks there keep it from going left to right. And so that's how we did it. And then in terms of actual screws, you guys saw me put on there. So it had 4 2-inch screws, which went on each one of these corners right here. Move this, where my finger's pointing right there. So each corner of the tank got a 2-inch screw. And then the 1-inch, 1.5-inch screws, we put 8. So it's a total of, what are you looking at? 12 screws. So we put 8 1.5-inch, and this is the 1.5-inch right here, guys. Look, this one right here, right there. We put 8 of those, and then we put 4 of the 2-inch on each corner. So that thing is, like I said, it is not moving anywhere. And but yeah, I'm super excited about it. But I just wanted to do a walk around with you guys. Now let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Guys, welcome to part 7 of our enclosed trailer build series. Before we begin, I wanted to let you know I've been reading all of the comments. Guys, wow! Man, you guys are creative. By the way, at the very end of the series, I'm going to put up a poll for the names for the different rigs. Of course, this one right now, as of right now, we're christening it. That sounds about right. We're going to name it the Grime Reaper, guys. The Grime Reaper. But at the end, like I said, I'll put up a poll on the channel and you guys can decide on the names and whatnot. But that being said, welcome to numero 7, part 7 of our enclosed trailer build series. In today's episode, actually, we're going to do the plumbing of the top of the tank. Remember, guys, what was that, 2 parts ago? we did the plumbing of the bottom where we hooked up the T and the shut off valve and the dump valve and all that. And then we set our tanks in the last episode. Now we're going to do, like, for example, our flow valve and hook up all the, you know, for, not just for the water, but also, you know, you got to take into account that this one's going to have a proportioner with your AR-45, so it's a little bit more plumbing. But yeah, I'm excited that I get to do this with you. But let me go ahead and get all the parts together, and I'll see you guys inside the trailer. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the different parts that you're going to need, the different tools and whatnot to get this done. Of course, you're going to need a drill, and you're going to need one of these drill bits. I've told you guys this several times. You get it at Lowe's. It comes in, like, you know, like 6 or 7 different sizes, like this one right here. So when we drill this one right here, which I think is a 3/4 inch, this is going to be able to drill the hole for that. You see that? So, but the bottom line is, you know, just get yourself a set of these drill bits at Lowe's. You get it in a hardware section. I think I paid 39 bucks or 37 bucks, and it was like a bunch of them together. So, and then this right here is actually going to be the bulkhead that we're going to use to create our water outlet for, what is that thing called? For our SH, for the proportion. I'll show you that in a second. We're actually going to start here. I know this probably looks really complex to you guys, but what this is this is for your bypass line. This is the line that goes from, let me stand up here a second, so because I need to explain this to you. So your bypass line is probably one of the most important parts of a build, because this is what you connect to your unloader valve on your pressure washer. And the reason for that being is, you know, imagine you're out there washing somebody's house, and, you know, you're not on the gun, meaning, like, let's say somebody's talking to you, so you're not spraying, but your machine is still on. If you were to do that without having this installed, within a minute or two, you would burn up your pump. You would, you know, that's a $2,000, $3,000 mistake. And what this does is it creates a water loop. So essentially, when this is activated, there's a water coming out of your pump through your unloader valve, comes into your tank, and it's creating a constant loop of water. And I'll explain this in, you know, a little bit more once we actually install it. But for right now, for you to know, again, this is a 1/2 inch bulkhead that we're going to drill. This right here is a 3/4 inch. So you see this right here. I'm sorry, guys. This is a 3/4 inch bulkhead. This is a 3/4 inch elbow, and we're going to put this on the bottom. This is very, 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 very important that you guys do this. If I don't do this, right, this is what the top is going to look like, by the way, okay? And then my 5/8 line, my bypass line is 5/8. That's what's going to connect to my unloader valve. And if I don't add this part here at the bottom, what happens is, you know, when the water comes out of your unloader valve, it's coming out at high pressure, right? So it's going to come through the line, come through here, and it's going to shoot straight down into your tank. So if I install this in my tank like this, like, let's say that's what it's going to look like at the end, right? But if it's installed like that, it's going to shoot water straight into my tank, pressurized water, and it's going to send a bunch of air bubbles into my tank. So then you're going to squeeze the trigger, and you're going to go, it's going to be sputtering on you the whole time because there's trapped water in your line. So you have to put this elbow, because what happens is, now you can see this whole elbow part right here is going to be in the bottom of your tank, inside your tank. So you guys, you know, you have to visualize it, and I'll try to, you know, make a video for it for you guys so I can show you what I'm talking about. But when you're off the trigger, your machine's on, it's sending water through your unloader valve into this bypass line, and then it's shooting, instead of going straight down into your tank, this elbow shoots the water into the side of the tank right here, and then it just dissipates. And and then the air doesn't get trapped in there and eventually go down your line. So that's just the bottom line right there. And we're actually going to start right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to Teflon this guy up together right here. We're going to leave this here for now. Here you go, right here. Excuse me, guys, I kicked my drill. Let me put that right there out of my way. So right here, look, just like so. We're gonna put Teflon on this guy. 1, 2, and 3, and snap off. And we're already gonna add this to the bottom like that. Just like that. You guys can see that. And here, I don't need it to be, you know, super snug, because it doesn't matter, because it's, you know, inside the tank. So that's how I want this to go, like that. I don't want this falling off, so I'm gonna put this right here next to our hose reel, just like that. Now I can drill. I just need to make sure when I screw this thing back on, you know, your elbow here is pointing towards this left side of the tank. And the other thing is, I don't know if you guys ever installed a bulkhead or not. You have this gasket right here, the rubber gasket. That's got to be on the inside part of the tank. All right. So let's go ahead and get this did. Let's get it did. So I already got my drill bit, and I'm going to show you guys this right here. Look, see, the drill bit is a little bit bigger than the hole. You see that? So the hole is going to be a smidge bigger than what this actually is, and that's what you want right there. You guys see that? Perfect. And like I said, the gasket's going to be in the inside. So let's set this aside right here. And when you drill into your tank, you want to try to be, you know, 2-3 inches from the edge of the tank, and then somewhere, you know, where it's in the middle. It's okay to do it in other areas, but I always like to do it in the middle and all the way in the top. In my case, it's right here. Just like that. Let me see if you guys can see me real good right there. And then I'm just gonna drill down. Doesn't take a lot of pressure because of the friction. It cuts right through it. Just like that. Again, I'm not in a hurry. It's just going real slow. It's cutting it. Just like so. You guys see that? Just like that. And then at the end here, I am going to, what's it called? I'm going to get my, oh my God, what is that thing called? My vacuum, my shop vac. And I'm going to vacuum inside of there. So you guys got that. I made the hole right here. And then the goal is I'm going to put this like this. You guys see that right there? Look at that. Okay. And then that elbow again is going to be facing again, because I'm installing my bypass line. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. This thing here says that for tightening, it's to the left. So that's what we're going to do right there. Just like so. Tighten it just like that. Ooh, that's already pretty good right there, guys. Pretty good. There you go. That's super tight. And let me see if you can see with the camera here. Inside, you won't be able to see too good, guys, but I can sort of see it with my eye a little bit. That elbow, I mean, that elbow is aiming for like right there, and that's what you want. The bottom line is your elbow can point pretty much anywhere, but as long as it's hitting a tank. I'm sorry, the side of the tank. So it can aim this way, that way, whatever which way, but you don't want the water shooting down, okay? That's the important part. So now we're gonna put our 5/8. So this is 3/4 to 5/8, because the line that we're gonna be using is 5/8. So here you go, 2, 3, snap off, just like that. And these pieces here, I don't try to put like too much pressure on them, because you got to remember these are what is that thing called? Polyurethane, and you know it can break if you apply too much pressure. So you see that right there, guys? You see that? It's pointing that way, because you got to remember our pressure washer is going to be like right here where I'm pointing, and then our line is going to go that way, that way, that way. And that's coming up, by the way, in what, 2 more episodes, 2 more parts. It's part 8 is when we connect the machines, connect everything up. So there you go. So just like that, guys, the bypass line, done, finito. Remember, there's an elbow underneath, and it would be impossible for me to put that elbow on now. That's why I did it first. You know, when I put that bulkhead in there, it already had the elbow on it. You notice that, right? So now I don't have to worry. So that's good to go, okay? The next thing that we're going to do, and I want you to pay attention here, this is a flow valve. I've mentioned this before. If you've seen my other builds, you know what this is. So a flow valve, let me take this apart because I know this is probably going to confuse some of you guys. This is actual several parts here that are connected together. All right, so this is your bulkhead right here. So these are the parts right here. You have your bulkhead, you have a reducer. I'm going to explain that in a second. And then you have your hose barb, and then you have your flow valve. Now, the flow valve, obviously, you can't go female to female, right? You see that right there? You need female to male, right? So that's what this is for. And this is, I think this is 1 1/4, reducing it to 3/4. So what I'm going to do is on both of these right here, we're going to put the Teflon tape like so. And I mention this because when you get your flow valve, guys, which is in your Amazon list, this doesn't come with it. All right, so you're going to be very confused. You're going to get this in a box. It comes just like this, like that, without this. You got to order this separately, okay? All right, and again, this is, and it says it on there, this is 1 1/4, 1 inch. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Yeah, 1 inch. And by the way, there's a filter in there. Before I forget, I'm glad I noticed this. There's a filter in there, guys, and once or twice a month, you got to unscrew this and get the debris out of there, or else you will not get any water in your tank. Very important for you to know these things. So anyway, so this is 1 1/4 inch, reducing it down to 3/4, okay? And I'll put the part on the thing for you. Super easy. You'll be able to order the same part that's on my hand. So 1, 2, 3, snap off. And then just like that, 1, 2, 3, snap off, snap on, snap off, okay? So then I'm putting this part here. And again, remember guys, this part here doesn't need to be, I'm sorry guys, the thing fell off on me. It doesn't need to be super, super, super tight because again, you know, I'm sorry, let me put this back on here, guys. It doesn't need to be super, super tight simply because it's, you know, it's inside the tank. So it doesn't matter if there's a leak or not. I mean, what does it matter if it's leaking water? It's inside the tank. You guys see that? And then what happens with a flow valve is very simple, guys. So what happens is, you know, this is going to go inside the tank, right? So you can imagine we're going to drill the bulkhead right now. And then as your tank fills up, when it gets to about the 95% mark, 96% mark full, this thing right here raises up and it shuts off the water right here. So no water is able to get through. So so, you know, it's very important in any enclosed trailer because I don't want to flood my entire trailer of water. It's going to defeat the purpose of the Line-X and it's going to ruin everything here within weeks if I do that. All right, you guys got that? So there you go. So that's your flow valve. That's your reducer. The next thing that we're going to do right here is, look at this. This is the same 3/4 inch bulkhead, and we're simply going to put this on here like this because same as that. If I try to put this, you know, inside the tank with my hand, it would be virtually impossible. Virtually impossible. And again, I tighten all of this stuff with hand because you don't need to, you know what I mean? You don't need a lot of pressure here. Look at that. Now I'm going to take this, I always call it a bushing, but it's not a bushing, this washer off. And we're going to do the same thing as we did before, right here, right? We're going to drill. Put this down here for a second, guys. The drill here has that piece. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to show you how to do that. I just take it off of my my drill, and then this comes off, guys, like that. I just unscrew that right there, and then I can pop this. Oh, I can pop this like that. It's actually really melted on there. So I'm going to use this right here, guys, to just tap on it. It's already coming off. Little by little, guys. Little by little. Bam. Ah, I got my rubber mallet. My trusty rubber mallet. Remember I tell you guys this all the time that for some reason I always end up using a rubber mallet for something or another. So you guys see that right there? And then it just comes right off. And then to put it back, I'm gonna show you guys this right here, because this is the actual, this look at this, guys. This melted right on there. That's how much heat, friction. So you just put this down so you guys can see really well. So you see the drill bit just goes in there like that. You pull it on the other side, and then you take that little piece, and that's what holds it into place right there. That's good to go for us to drill. All right, let me put this rubber mallet down. Here we go, guys. Now we're gonna put our flow valve on there. And by the way, this line right here that we created, that's the line that the end of that line is going to be, you know, hooked into our flow valve. And again, that's coming up in the next couple of episodes. Here we go, guys. Little by little, guys. All right, same deal as before. We're gonna aim for right here, right there, right in the middle. Just like that, very slowly, not applying any pressure. Just like that, we're through. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. All right, and just like before, we're gonna take our little washer here. If you notice on one side, it has an arrow which shows you or tells you which side, you know, is the too tight. There you go, right there. Just like that. Oh, that's pretty tight. Very tight, actually. Now, this right here is for our, what's it called? The hose barb. That's gonna go on top. The 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch hose barb. 1, 2, 3. Snap off. Just like that. Bam, guys. Wow, there you go, right there. Oh, that's perfect right there, guys. Perfect. And let me see. Oh yeah, you should be able to see. And by the way, you see the flow valve inside there. By the way, I'll put a video here for you showing what a flow valve looks like in action. All right, there you have it, guys. Now, what I was saying is, remember this whip line for our water is 3/4 tubing, and that's what's gonna go right there. You see that right there? And so, you know, when we connect our FlexZilla to the customer's, you know, spigot, the water's gonna come through there, it's gonna come through there, it's gonna go through our flow valve right there and into our buffer tank, our water tank. All right? So that's it right there. So on the left, you have your unloader valve, right? Your bypass for that. And then on the right is our water. Now this right here, this is going to be for our, what is that thing called, guys? For our the siphon tube opening, for our siphon tube for the, what is that thing called? The SH, right? That's gonna hook up to our proportional. Okay, now for this, we need a bigger hole. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take this thing off right here, just like we did before. You see that right there? I'm unscrewing this piece. This piece should just pop right out. We'll use our what's it called? Our mallet again. Rubber mallet. Put that back, and then it just unscrews like that. You see that? Real simple. Now we'll set that down. Now we got this one right here, the bigger one. Same dealio. We're gonna put that through, just like so. And these parts, you know, there's some stuff that I would do off camera, but this is one of those dealios where, you know what I mean, you definitely want to watch exactly what I'm doing here. Here we go, guys. Okay, so we're going to drill this one on this side here. Actually, it'd be better for me. Angle-wise, it'd be better on this side because I kept saying SH, but it's for our water. This is for our water for our you know, our proportioner for our soft washing, but it's water. It's not chemical. So I'm gonna put that right here. No pressure. And just like that, I'm through. Again, I'm sorry about that confusion, guys. This is not for your chemical. This is for your water. This is what's going to be pulling water from our tank right there. Wow, that's looking pretty good. You got that one piece down there from when I did the bulkhead at the bottom, but again, I'm scooping all of that stuff up. All right, here you go, guys. Real simple. We're going to take this right here, put it through. Oh, I gotta open it a little bit more, guys. Let me see if I can screw it in there. You guys probably can't even see from this angle right here. I gotta open it just a smidge more, like a smidge. All right, here we go, guys. Oh, by the way, when I do that and I need to open it up a little bit more, I just put it in there and push a little bit to the side because this thing creates so much friction and heat, it melts it. So just like so. Ooh, piece fell off down there. Look at that. Now I got two pieces down there. And this already came loose, by the way. Gotta tighten it again. Ah! Now it's super tight. That, the plastic piece that was in there fell through. All right, guys. Ah, this thing got stripped. Might have to switch this piece out. It's stripped right there, guys. Let me see if I can get one good go of it. One good go of it. Got stripped right there. I'm gonna have to switch. I got 2 or 3 of these parts, but if anything, you know, I'll do that off camera. Let me see if it was enough for it to go through. Oh, it's like right there. I could probably just screw it on there. If I wasn't using my left arm, I could probably do it. But you know, I can't get the angle right here for the. Let me see if I can do it with the rubber mallet because it's like right there, man. It's, wow, it's already coming up. And again, I'm not putting a bulkhead on there, and you guys will see this at the end. I'm gonna have to get the other piece, guys, and put that on here properly. Because it's like a smidge, I just need to open it a smidge. But anyway, I'll show you this because we got to create the siphon tube for the house mix, the siphon tube for our surfactant, and what else? Oh, and that's right, the siphon tube for the SH for the soft washing. So let me go ahead and do that. We're actually going to go to the shop and do that together. So I'll see you guys over there. Guys, quick announcement. I've created a digital product called Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box. Check this out. Okay, so the Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box is actually a thumb drive that we're going to send to you guys to your physical address. And when you get this thumb drive, you're going to see a folder that's called Box in it. And then when you open it, you're going to see all of these files right here, guys, all of these folders. And guys, this thing has over 500 files, anything and everything I've ever created from my business. So all of the blueprints, training modules, documents, all of the things that you guys constantly email me about, you know, your pricing PDF, your your, for example, you know, your marketing blueprints, anything that you could need for your business is in here. That's why we call it a business in a box. One of the things that I really like about this is, guys, check out all of these pictures. So you have a total of 300 before and after pictures that you guys can add to your website and your Facebook and your Google My Business. And check this out. So there's a folder called Google SEO, and the pictures already have the SEO words in them. And this one photo right here has over 300. This specific folder has 190 pictures, but all in all, it's over 300 pictures. Look at some of these pictures, guys. Amazing before and afters pictures for you guys to be able to add to all of your social medias and whatnot. This is going to help you get a lot of customers. And of course, your edible postcards are on here. And then finally, you got training videos on here as well, guys. Like, for example, the video on how to optimize your Google My Business, the Mr. Bubbles. You got several videos, so they're like training modules. You got all the PDFs. The bottom line, guys, is this. This is going to help you with your business. So don't miss out. Make sure that you email us so you can get your business in a box today. In order to get your business in a box, you just got to hit the link in the description of this video. And I say this all the time on the channel, guys. The more you know, the more you grow. That's how come I decided to create this business in a box, because it has everything in there you need to be able to grow your business. And I really believe that this is going to be a game changer for you. Guys, you do not want to miss out on this one. All right, so first off, I want to go over all of the different materials that you're going to need to get this done. This right here, guys, is our siphon tube for downstreaming, okay? This is just going to be for inside of our water tank. Now, I made this months ago. I got a couple of these sitting around. And, you know, if you guys want to actually see how this was made, you know, all you got to do is watch episode 14. That's episode number 1 and 14. And you're going to see it's got the materials. This is 20 feet of this tubing right here, 1/4 inch tubing. Anyway, so the bottom line is all the materials and the step-by-step process is in that video, so I recommend that. So this is already done. We're going to set this aside right here. And then I created the same exact way, guys, exactly like I did on episode 14. I created this smaller tubing right here. You guys see it on there. That one right there is a 3/4 inch pipe. This is just a 1/4 inch pipe. And again, this is for, that one's for downstreaming. This one is for your surfactant. And exactly the same way, because you guys hear that? I got something in there that's a teaser for you guys. Make sure you watch episode 14 so you can find out exactly how we create our siphon tubes. Now, I say this all the time on the channel, guys, that, you know, making a lot of money and pressure washing is all about skill sets. Well, creating your own siphon tube for all your different tanks, that's one skill set that you're going to need to develop in order to have a lot of success. So there you go. And then if you notice on there, I have little holes right here. That's so this thing gets weighed down, because the solution is going to get in there and so forth. In this case here, it's the surfactant. Okay, so let's set this aside. All right, so now this is for, we actually need to make 2 of these. I'm going to make one on camera, and then the other one I'll make off camera to save us some time. But this is a 1.5 inch pipe, PVC pipe, right? It says it right there. I probably won't be able to see that too good right there, but around here somewhere. It says 1.5 inch PVC pipe. And I cut all of these. Whenever I make these, I cut them to 33 inches. So let's measure this out here on camera. You see that right there? Look at that. 33. I don't know if you'll be able to see that really well there. 33 inches, okay? And then the other thing that you're going to need to make, and remember, we're making a siphon tube for our water, for that bulkhead, that big 1 1/4 inch bulkhead that we put on top of our buffer tank. That's where the tubing for the water for our proportioner for the soft washing is going to go. And you need this 45 elbow, again, 1.5 inches, and this is going to go like that at the end here. The other thing that you're going to need to be able to get this done, excuse me guys, you're going to need this little, what is this thing called? This little filter thing. This mesh filter, this is so nothing can get in there, like leaves or rocks or anything can get in your line. And then we got a 1/2 inch by 3/4 inch barb, and this right here, this fitting is in a lot of these things, guys, are going to be in your Amazon list, right? So you got these two things right here. Of course, we need a 3/4 inch hose clamp, and this right here is the tubing that we're going to use. This in your list on Amazon, you're going to find that in the description of every one of these build series episodes. You have this, I think it's 50 feet. There's two different ones that I'm going to use doing this build. It's the 3/4 inch one, that's what I got in my hand right here. And then we're using the 5/8 one, for example, for our bypass line. So we're going to create one together here on camera, and then I'm going to create another one off camera. Again, that way, you know, we're not wasting so much time. And the cement, the PVC cement that I use, you guys see that right there? You guys see the brand right there? Little focus right there. There you go. I get that at a Lowe's, and I always have 2 or 3 of these laying around because I use them so much. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how we're going to put this, all of this together. Of course, you know, we're going to need our trusty Teflon tape. So I'm going to show you this here in a second. I think I've already showed you guys plenty, but here you go. One more time. See how it goes behind my thumb like that? And then I chop it with the other thumb. Go 1, 2, and 3, and snap off. There we go. So then I put this right here like this. This doesn't require anything to really hold them together because this is threaded and this is also threaded. So you just screw them in just like so. Just like that. And remember, doesn't matter if there's leaks here. This is staying inside. This is permanently staying inside our tank. You guys see that right there? Look at that. Freaking perfect. This is perfect. All right, the next thing we're going to do is, and by the way, the tubing for both of these, for me, it's going to be 12 feet. Okay, so the one that's going to go in my SH tank, which is going to be built the same way. Right now we're doing the water one, and this one that we're putting together for my water, both of them are 12 feet. I might need a little bit more, or I'm sorry, I might need a little bit less than that, but I'm definitely not going to need more than that. But in your case, depending on your trailer, your build, you might need a little bit more or a little bit less. You just have to measure it out, okay? This is according to the size of my build. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push this all the way through like so. Just like that. You guys see that? Okay, I'm all the way through. Next, I'm going to take my 45 and I'm going to put that through like so. And here we go. And then I am going to put, see, hopefully you guys can see okay here in this angle. Oh yeah, that's pretty good right there. I'm taking some of this PVC cement. All right, and I'm just going to put that around the pipe right there where they connect. This thing here is like a type of acid, guys. I'm not even kidding you, but this thing is no freaking joke. It basically makes them into one piece, essentially. It turns this pipe into a single pipe. You see that right there, right? How we did that? And this thing dries within 2 or 3 minutes. It's already dry. Whenever I'm doing this, I always close it up right away. And I take it out of the way, you know, so that way I don't knock it down. And there you go again. Fusion, single step. You guys see that right there. All right, so there you go. That's the single pipe right there. Now let's go ahead and put our hose clamp on this guy. Remember our trusty heat gun? We got that guy going already. So it's already getting up there, guys. We're getting there close. We're getting closer and closer here towards the end of this this series, man. I mean, pretty soon we're a couple episodes away, actually, you know, only a couple episodes away from putting, you know, connecting all of our lines and whatnot. Just like that, you see how I go around? Go around. This doesn't require much. Just a little bit because it is tubing. Just got to be careful not to melt it. Just like so. That's all I need right there. Then I'm going to take my hose barb right there, just like that. Oh, that's freaking perfect right there, guys. You see that? Now I take my hose clamp with my screwdriver. Man, and I love doing these things with you. You know, one of my favorite things to do, you know, come to my shop and tinker with my equipment, build equipment. Man, it's one of the sides of the business that I didn't really like in the beginning, to be honest with you. But then what being it was because I didn't know what I was doing. So it sucks to do things that you don't know what you're doing. But, you know, as time goes on, you're going to get a little bit more confident stuff and you'll be able to do it. And what's great is you guys have this these type of series. But you see the bulge on there, guys? Like that? Boom. Freaking perfect. See from that angle right there? Once you got that little bulge, it means there's no air gap. And there you go, guys. And again, right there, look at that. That's going to go inside of our tank. You guys are going to see here in a second when we go back out into the trailer. That's going inside our buffer / water tank. And then the other end right here, this is what's going into our proportioner. So, again, this is for soft washing. But there you have it, guys. And, yeah, let me go ahead and grab all of this, put it all together, and then I'll see you guys in the trailer. Okay, guys, there we have it. We have our little tubing here. This is going to go in our, like I said, our surfactant tank. This is for our water line for soft washing. And this other siphon tube here is going to be for downstreaming. And we still need to create one more, just like that one. I'm going to do that one off camera, so to save us a little bit of time. But you guys saw how I made this. Again, 1.5 inch PVC pipe with a 45. And, you know, you guys saw the what's it called, the hose barb here. But exact same way, the exact same way, including 12 inches of, I'm sorry, 12 foot of 3/4 inch tubing. That's going to be for our line. But like I said, for our SH, but we'll do that off screen. Now, I wanted to show you this because I do love it when things don't work out on video, because I get to show you guys how to troubleshoot things. So you guys saw that it was like a tight fit here. I mean, it was like a millimeter off. So what I did was I had this fitting here in this little red thing right there. And what I did is I just put this on and I put it inside the hole and I went around like that, pushing up against the wall. And it creates so much friction that it ended up melting the hole just enough. And I only did it once. So I basically put this inside the hole just like that. And I went like that, just like that, until the hole opened up just enough for me to get this fitting in there. And you guys see it on here. It's really good. And we still have to add this right here. We'll add this part together, and you see there's an arrow right here, guys. And it's just like that. Look at that. Okay. And you see there's an opening there. And I want to explain something to you guys. Back in the day, okay, and back in the day, I would say even as early as 4 or 5 years ago, the way you used to do this is you would have a bulkhead, kind of like the same style that we did with our flow valve. And then you would have a fixed tube underneath that connected to be able to siphon water. The reason why professionals like myself don't do that anymore is because these bulkheads, you're putting too much pressure. You know, when you're connecting it to like the AR-45, there's pressure being created there. And so we don't want to connect that to a bulkhead, because that part will go bad, and it goes bad quickly. I mean, it happened to me 3 or 4 times in a year where that bulkhead broke. So now we simply bypass the bulkhead, and that's why we created this right here, because you see how we're going to install this. So you guys saw how we made this. Again, this is for the water for our proportioner, okay, for soft washing. So we're going to put that in there. Okay, we're going to leave that in there. And then this other end here, we're going to go inside the tank. Okay, it's kind of awkward because I can't do anything with my left hand. And we're simply, you see how I did that right there? This went through our bulkhead. And this end right here where I'm pointing, that's where our proportioner for soft washing for the AR-45 is going to go. And this that I'm holding in my right hand, this is my water line. Okay, so you guys know a proportioner has 3 hose barbs, right? The left one is your water, the middle one is your soap, your surfactant, the right one is your SH. this right here is going to be connected to that. And you see in there, that's our water right there. Look at that. That's our water right there. So now I want to make sure you guys understand what we did here, because like I said, back in the day, you know, you would have, hopefully you guys can see in there real good. Back in the day, you would have a fixed, like that siphon tube would be connected to a bulkhead, right? Like to a hose barb. And then there would be another hose barb up here, just like this. And then there would be a hose from the hose barb to the proportioner. Do not do that. Go straight from your siphon tube with tubing straight to your proportioner, bypassing your bulkhead, because again, your bulkhead will blow out. It happens at least twice a year to me when I had this system like that. And then I said, forget that, I'm not doing that anymore. So you guys see there, I still installed the bulkhead because I still need a hole to go through, but this way, you know, it's super safe and so forth. But there you have it. Now, if you guys have any questions about that, guys, like I said, I think I've said this 2-3 times already. These videos, you're going to have to watch them 2, 3, 4 times. And a lot of things that I do are not going to make any sense to you until the very end when you see how everything comes together. But all you got to do is you got to remember that right there where my hand is, that's our flow valve down there. That's going to be connected to this line here, which is our water line. This right here is the water that's coming out of the tank into our proportioner. That's coming up in the next couple episodes. And this right here where I'm pointing, that's for our machine for the unloader valve. That's our bypass line, like I said, so we don't burn our pump. So that's a super professional setup. Now, we need to drill the hole, and I'm gonna show you here where, I just realized I forgot my other drill, guys. I got my drill in the shop. Let me get it. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Now, this right here is our siphon tube, like I said, that is going to be connected to our pressure washer, because this is how we're going to downstream, okay? So we're simply going to put this in here like so, really gentle. Maybe you can see it in there. I'm not sure from the angle, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole right here, right where my finger is, right here. Just like so. Wow, that was pretty quickly. Love this drill too, guys. Cobalt, maybe cobalt. And then from the inside, I'm gonna push this through, like so. Just like that. You guys see that? Look at that. And again, what's in there is my siphon tube. And right here, right around here, is where my downstream injector is gonna be connected to my pump. And then eventually, you know, in part 8, when we put our machine, we're going to connect all of this stuff. Now, let's go ahead and do the same thing with our soap, okay? Our surfactant. Here we go, guys. Same thing here. So we're going to drill like right here. You guys see that? Little hole there. We're going to put the siphon tube inside. And I same thing, guys. You hear that? Got it in there too. Won't tell you what it is. You're gonna have to watch episode 14 to find out. Just like so. So that's in there real good. And then what we're doing here, guys, is we're doing this right here. We're gonna go through the hole right there. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Just like so. You guys see that? Because now I can put my top on there, because this right here, I'll show you here in a second here. This, is going to be connected to my proportioner. Just like so. Right here. So you guys got to imagine right there where my hand is, that's where the proportioner is going to go. That's our soap line. And just like that. So let me put the top on here. So we'll close this guy out. Wow, it's sitting in there real snug like that. I like that. Let's see if we can flip this thing around in here. Like that. Look at that, guys. There's no way. It's like in diagonal position, not going anywhere. Bam, that's done. So we'll close this up right here. And at the very, very, very end in the last episode, like I said, I'll put 15 gallons of Snotminate in there. Be ready to go. So again, let me show you this again. Once again, guys, that's how you do it. The plumbing of the top of the tank. We got our water in there. That's the flow valve that we installed together. We got this right here. Again, this is for the water for your, what is that thing called? For your proportioner for soft washing. This tubing right here is for our downstreaming. It's going to be connected to a downstream injector. And then on the left side there, that's our bypass. And that is super professional. I know it looks like tubing everywhere and it looks kind of crazy. We got a hose there. We got like already 5-6 hoses. But then again, like I said, and within the next 2 episodes, we're going to connect everything. And I wanted to remind you, by the way, that the last episode is a members only episode. You want to make sure, guys, make sure that you become a member of the channel, or else you won't be able to watch the last episode of the series where, you know, we diagnose the whole thing. We do a complete walk around, and, you know, we turn the entire system on as well. And then through the year, you know, through the next couple of years, I'm going to be making so much content with this thing. The Grime Reaper, guys. The Grime Reaper. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys, as always, you know, supporting the channel, watching the content. Make sure, guys, I tell you this in every single episode. Make sure you email me. I got great resources to share with you. I do answer all of my email, and I really do look forward to hearing from you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.